Welcome to the System Simplified podcast, where we feature top leaders who share stories on how to successfully systemize a business. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello, Adi Klevit here with the System Simplified podcast, where we interview top entrepreneurs, founders, and thought leaders about systematizing a business. And this podcast is being brought to you by Business Success Consulting Group. At Business Success Consulting Group, we create custom processes and tailor-made business systems so businesses can thrive and grow. All right, and today's guest is Jen Lillie. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Adi. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy to have you on this podcast. And Jen is a premier realtor in Portland, Oregon. She's just amazing. Probably one of the top realtors, right, Jen? I know you don't like to brag about yourself, but you are one of the top realtors.
Well, thank you. There are a lot of us, but it is an honor to be in that category. There's a lot of amazing humans in that realm. So thank you.
You're welcome. So the name of your company is wegotthekeys.com. So people can go and check it out if they're moving to Portland and you know realtors all over the United States. So definitely if you want a good realtor, contact Jen.
Thank you.
And then the reason why you are here is not only you're a good friend and I've known you for years now and we belong to the same networking group and I've seen you in action, but I want to talk about systems and how you apply systems to your business, because one of the keys to your success is the systems that you implement. And also from what I noticed is that extra touch, right? There is the saying that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the word extra. You really go the extra mile for your clients. You treat them like family. You treat your network as family. And that is a big part of the systems that you set in place. So let's start with your story. So how did you become a real estate broker?
Boy. I was always interested in it. Never really had an opportunity to take a leap of a commission-only career. So after college, I did what I went to college for. I was an event planner for 15 years. And that was a very, very solid income for many years. And I enjoy the event planning, the processes, the systems, the checklists, the checking the boxes. I'm the type of person that will make a checklist for everything, and then I'll end up putting things on the list I've already done so I can check them off. Maybe that's a little OCD, but that's just how my brain works. And so when I was able to get into real estate, it was very good timing. It was 2012, and things were starting to slowly come back after the big crash. And I reached out to a friend of mine that had been a lender for 15 years or so. And I said, what do you think about me getting into real estate? And he's like, before I could finish my sentence, he's like, oh my gosh, yes, you will kill it. You are made to do this. And I was scared out of my mind. I did the CE. I did all the things. I got in quickly, took the test, and the test teaches you nothing in real life. So I just jumped in with the team at a major company and started learning. And I was fortunate at the time to be married to a man that made a very good income. And so I didn't have to stress about not having an income at that time, because real estate, you don't just jump in and get a paycheck. It's often months and months before you do. And I was licensed July 1st and I made my first paycheck November 1st. So, it was a little scary not having that income for a while, but I knew I wanted to learn. And I think that was a big part of my success, was that I didn't come from desperation. I came from contribution. And I've always held that close to me through my career, because there's a lot of real estate agents out there that work from desperation, because it is paycheck commission to paycheck commission. And it's often 30 plus days out. You don't know if that home's going to close, if you're going to get a paycheck. So it is kind of scary sometimes. But I've always felt if you just do the right thing and you help your people and you do what's right, even if you don't, feel like that I should take that on, it's the right thing to do. And you move forward, and that perpetuates, that spider webs. People talk when you do things like that. And when you come to the rescue, you're the hero. And it's the right thing to do. Ultimately, just do it and it will bless you in return. So that's kind of my story. I've been licensed since 2013 and my business has grown exponentially every year. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for my past clients because they continue to be my biggest supporters and cheerleaders. And of course, my family and my friends, they're just cheerleading me every day, all day.
For sure. And so you have that sphere around you of good people, supporting people, but it's also that attitude that you had, right? You're not coming from desperation, but you want to collaborate, you want to contribute, you want to help. And I think that's a big part of it. I mean, I know it's a big part of it in terms of you treat your clients like they were family, right? I mean, you take it personally. They're buying their first home. That is like, it's for you, it's a big deal. It's kind of like your brother is buying a first home, right? Or the sister or whomever, right?
I had this conversation yesterday with an older lady that I was referred to. I haven't met her in person. And I said, we're doing FaceTime. I'm doing FaceTime tours because she lives in Alaska and she's trying to move down here. And so I was doing a FaceTime tour and I said, I'm sorry, I can't let you buy this house. I wouldn't let my mom buy this house. Like I'm treating her as if it were my mom buying this home. And it wasn't safe. The area wasn't safe enough for her to be living there by herself, I felt. And so, yeah, it's a good example. They are my family. The joke in my friend sphere is you're already planning the closing gift before you found them the home. Because that's my love language is the closing and the party at the end and the key giving and the gift. And it's, personalized to that family. That's my favorite part is, yeah, of course I love selling and buying homes, but it's the stories behind those four walls. It's not about the four walls. It's about the people moving in or moving out of those four walls.
Absolutely. And then you just embody the fact that, in order for us to help, we have to have our why. We have to have a purpose. We are doing it not just for the transaction, but it's really building those relationships.
Definitely.
So let's talk about your systems because you really grew your business exponentially by putting in systems. And it might not have been intentionally at the beginning, but, as you said, you like checklists. You're very organized. You were able to create big events, as an event planner, right? And you brought it into the real estate industry by being very methodical, very thoughtful, focused, and intentional. So walk us through some of your systems that you have in place. Let's say you have a house and you want to put a house on the market. What do you do?
I'm very systematic and I'm very upfront when I meet somebody new and I say, I have systems. If we meet and you don't like the system, that's okay. That means I'm not a good fit for you. I'm not a good fit for everybody. And that also kind of gives me the opportunity, if they're not a good fit for me, that I can, let them down or tell them no now rather than let them down later. And it kind of eases I'm not going to come in and hound you like they're expecting any other broker to do because of that desperation. I'm just like, this is what you get. What you see is what you get. I'm going to help you, give you some information. If you like me and I like you and it's a good fit, then let's take that next step. But no obligation past that. Let's just meet. So what I do is we set that time. I go to the home. I have them give me a tour of the home and tell me all about it. I ask tons and tons of questions. That way I can understand how to put my comparables together. Because the sellers, the only thing they want to know is how much can I sell this place for? That's the only thing they care about. How much can I get for this home? And how much work am I going to have to do to get it ready? So those are the things that we take care of. And we go through. My system begins with a staging consultation. I pay professionals to do what they're good at, things that I am not good at. I do the things I'm good at, and I pay other people to do what they're good at. The first thing is a staging consultation. That is a huge, huge part of my business. I've worked with the same company, Inspired Spaces, since 2014. They have staged almost 200 homes for me over those years. And it's just a system. They know, they go in, they meet the client, they do what they do. They send us a report, and that report becomes a checklist or a honey-do list for my client. My clients love that part because most sellers don't know where to begin. They don't know where to start. Do we paint this wall? Do we do this? Do we repair that? Everything's done for you. It's just a list and you check the boxes, and they're literally our little boxes. They can check the boxes, and it makes it so simple, makes me look like the hero because I'm giving them a checklist, but it's actually from the staging company. After that, we do all the work necessary and we set the dates. And here's how systematic this is. I sell about 40 to 50 homes a year, so I have to be organized. We always go live on a Thursday. That's the best day statistically to go on the market. So that's the day we go on the market. We move everything backwards from that. So if we go live on Thursdays, the professional photography is Wednesday, just the day before. The professional staging's Tuesday. The professional cleaning is Monday. The professional window cleaning is the Friday before. If we have carpets to be cleaned, that's on Thursday. So everything is set. My carpet gal, my carpet guy, my window guy, my cleaning crew, my staging crew, my photographer have all been working with me for years, literally years, and they know what their day is. Tim over at Expert Power Wash, they're there right now. Friday. It's Friday. We have a new listing going live next Thursday. So I'm preaching what I'm speaking. Tim's there. He just texted me. They're at the house cleaning the windows. Monday, my cleaning crew PDX, they go in on Mondays. They clean the house. Tuesdays, my stagers go back in and stage the whole house. Wednesday, Kelly with Realty Photo Northwest, she goes in Wednesdays and does the photos. It's just a system. And those people know what their day is, and they just know what I expect. I don't need to be there. I don't need to follow them. I trust them to do their jobs, and I pay them to do their jobs, and I let them do their jobs. I don't micromanage them. And everything just boom, 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 boom.
And that's part of what you need is a good team, right? You have to have people you trust in order to create those systems. So it's people and processes, but because you have those systems set up, then you can have good people. And that's part of your system as well, is we both belong to BNI. That's part of your system of finding good professionals. Is they're part of BNI, you find them, they're already vetted, and then you bring them in to be part of your team as independent contractors, of course, but still, and they know what to expect. It's very easy on their schedule, and they just go. It's like a machine. It's a machine.
And I'll tell you what, those teammates, I do call them my team, and I don't employ them. They're not on my payroll, but they are my team. They're my people. They're my family. I've been working with them so long that I know all about their kids and their grandkids, and it's just awesome to have that, loyalty. I'm very, very loyal. And as long as you pull your part, I'm always going to pull mine.
Absolutely. Good. So that's how you prepare the house. Then what do you do? How do you have a system also on putting it on the market?
Yes. As soon as we go live, and I, like I said, statistically, Thursdays, we'll have showings Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. We always do an open house on Sunday. I like to do a 12 to 2, a really short timeline, because I want buyers to cross paths and have a little bit of anxiousness, a little bit of fear of loss. So we only do a really short 2 hour. And in this market, we usually have multiple offers by Monday. So it's wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. When you sell 40, 50 homes a year, that's almost one a week. So it's just boom, boom, one over, but it's so fun. And it's exciting for me to help other people grow their businesses. I love that part of what I do, is that, I've got good people in my back pocket for everything, plumbers, or I don't know,
painters, electricians. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've got all these people that, I always say, I got a guy, just let me know. I got a guy, and they'll give you good service, good pricing, tell them you're my client, and again, I'm loyal. So those service providers will do a good job. And even in these crazy times where they are so busy, they will do their best to help my clients, because they know, I'm not a one-hit wonder. I'm going to come back time and time again.
Right. And then they use you as a resource in the future. But when they have the house, then if something goes wrong, they call you, hey, Jen, do you know an electrician? Or who do you know that can do this? And who do you know that can do that?
All the time. I have clients that text me from 5-6 years ago. Hey, we know you've got a guy. Who's your plumber? And it's exciting for me to be the first person that they think of, rather than going to Google or, I don't know, the chit chat pages. They'll come to me privately and say, we know they trust that I'm going to give them a name of somebody good. And that means a lot to me. That's a lot of trust.
For sure. And then you have a system to also put it out on social media.
Oh yeah, social media has been huge for my business. Facebook mostly. I'm trying to be better at Instagram, but I feel like I just can't quite get there. It's not as fun for me. Facebook, I have a huge following, and my page is wide open. I don't use a business page because I feel like people want to know who they're working with, and they're working with me, not a business page. I mean, you're going to see I'm wine tasting, or I'm at a duck football game, or whatever. I want people to be like, I like that girl. I like that style. I like how she treats her family or her friends. And I have a lot of things that my grandmother is almost 85 years old. She's my favorite human on the planet, and people all know her because she's Facebook famous because I post these things, and she's funny and people love it. And like, that's just who you're going to get if you want to work with me. If you don't like that, that's okay. But I just want to be transparent. Like, here it is. We have a lot of fun, but we get the job done, and we're serious about what we have to do. But, I want people to work with that I like. I want to work with people that I enjoy. If I'm going to work this hard, I want to work with people that I like.
That's right. So Jen, just to summarize, so you definitely work with you. If you have joy, I mean, I can feel the joy in what you do, right? So you make it fun because you are surrounding yourself with people, professionals and clients that are like you, that are basically are accepting you as you are, and they want to work with you. You are being super authentic, and you're just surrounding yourself with your friends, and your clients are an extension of your friends. The people that work with you, your team is an extension of your friends and family. And you just create this, basically this environment that is so vibrant and non-toxic, right? Because you don't allow people that are toxic into your environment. And sometimes we do, just like everyone else. And then you just get them out of there, because you can see the difference of working with people like that as opposed to people that you thrive and feel joy working with. And I think that's the key to your success.
Well, thank you. I've never really thought of it that way, but if we're going to work, buying a home is difficult, or selling a home is difficult. There are always hurdles. There are always repair addendums and surprises and attitudes and grudges. There's always drama.
Well, and emotional. I mean, if you are selling your house that you've been, or if you know that if you're not going to get this home, then, something else will happen. I mean, it's just like a ripple effect. It's just like, it's very emotional too.
It is. And if I'm going to work with somebody for the next, 30 to 60 to whatever days, it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns all the time. There are hurdles. There are hard discussions. There are hard conversations at times. And so working with people that, getting that trust and having that connection is so important, that I'm going to do the best I can to take as much off your plate, to shield you from as much drama as possible, and just get the job done best for your family. And that's a really big part of what I do, and making sure I manage people's emotions and expectations. And it's not a perfect system, and I'm not perfect, but man, if the people on the, either the clients or on the other side of a transaction are willing to have that same attitude, we can get through it. We all have the same goal. You want to sell the house and we want to buy the house. Let's figure out how to make that happen the smoothest way possible.
For sure. So going back to the social media, I think one of the successful things that you do is you are out there. You promote like crazy. You have people that like it and then basically support you. So then your clients see all the support, and you just basically spread the word through social media.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, especially if my clients are friends or just stalk my page, they see the activity, they see the interaction. It's so exciting for them to have that exposure. It's just one extra layer of exposure, not just on the market, but to have people chiming in. And if it's a home that they've been in for 30 years and they see somebody comment, "This is beautiful," or "I love this about the house," it's really heartwarming to them. And it's affirmation that they've done something good and something right. And it's kind of has a lot of different dimensions, but I've sold many homes really before they even went, on the market fully, because I have a lot of real estate agent friends. And when I put coming soons or teasers on my social media, I get blown up with, "Where's that house? When's it going live? That's perfect for my client. like she who has the most Facebook real estate agent friends wins, because those are the people bringing home buyers into those homes.
Sure.
And of course, it works both ways. I mean, I work with buyers also. I don't work just with sellers. And my buyers expect that I'm going to be connected with other brokers, realtors, or, the communities. They trust that I'm going to know, what kind of neighborhood is this, or are there activities, or, schools and parks and all the things that go into buying a home too. So there's two totally different sides of my business, both equally fun. There are some things about buyers I love and some that I don't love as much. Same with the listing side. There's things that I absolutely love and things that are harder. So
sure.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance.
For sure. But you have the joy. You can see you are creating on each one. You have like the creativity. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the extra mile that you go for your clients. And that is really we're trying to identify in this podcast, what are the keys to your success, right? So one of them is definitely going the extra mile. So you already explained about your system in terms of bringing your team. How do you put it on the market? It's your expertise, your knowledge, but there is also all the fun things, the things that you throw in for your clients, like your closing ritual, right? Or the client appreciation day that you put on, and everything you think to the details. It's just amazing details, amazing, like how can I actually, it's almost like entertain my clients or make them feel at home. And that's probably like your event planner coming in, right?
I have found a very good career where I could bring my previous life career into it and really exploit it, because we do. And obviously with COVID, it has been a real challenge and heartbreaking, because I miss my people.
Right.
Thankfully for social media, I get to stay in contact with many of them, or, interact and see their families and whatnot. But yes, I do 3 client appreciation parties a year. And then I do a Christmas holiday type thing as well. But I'll just focus on the one big one is in the summer. We do a huge client summer appreciation party. In 2019, the last one we had about 250 people show up, and it's all inclusive. There's food, there's like thousands of dollars in prizes and bounce houses, and the Kona Ice guy shows up in the big truck, and just games, and it's just a giant carnival festival. And it's just so fun. And I hire someone to stand at the front desk and do check-in, so I can float around and meet and see everybody. So I'm not stuck at the front desk. Everyone gets a goodie bag when they leave. That's the event planner side of me. I thrive in that environment. Like I said, gift giving is my love language. So everyone has to go home with a prize, and everyone has to go home with, this or that. But it's so fun for me to just show my appreciation, because they can bring their family, they can bring their friends, and to have 250-ish people show up because you've helped them or are in the process or future is humbling. I'll step back and watch everybody hanging out with their families, and it's like makes me tear up, because I know every time I look like this, I'm like, I know their stories. I remember the good, bad, and the ugly of each family. And then I have my service providers there, my inspector, my stager, my cleaner, all my people come, and they all know each other because they've all worked together and have helped each other. And it's just so great to see everybody come together, and no money's exchanged. I don't want anyone to ever not come because they can't afford something. So it's just come and eat and have fun and play and stay as long as you want. It's usually like a 4 or 5 hour deal. Come and go as you please. And it's the best day. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of prep. It's a lot of time, but it is worth every single second. It's my favorite day of the year. And I really look forward to 2022, when I think we can probably do another one.
That's amazing. Amazing. I mean, your enthusiasm and your attitude is so contagious. And that is something that can be translated to different activities, different things that you do. That's really determines success and helps the success, is that the way you treat people, the way you like to help, and your contagious attitude of like, let's have fun while we're doing it, right? And let's try different things and see how they work and all of that. Amazing.
Thank you.
So in closing, let's talk about why systems are important. So for you as a successful business owner that you were able to exponentially grow your business, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur that is listening to us right now and say, well, systems are important, but I don't have the time, or maybe later, etc. Like, why systems are important in your own words?
I would say if you say you don't have the time, you don't have the time not to have a system. Honestly, it's the consistency. I know, especially in my industry, I mean, it's $1 billion industry selling things to realtors, to the silver bullet, what's going to help your business, what's going to, set your business on fire. You can't try something for a week or a month and expect it to like blow it up. You can't. You have to stay consistent. If you're going to try something, be consistent. Set a timeline, a year, 6 months, whatever it is for your industry, what would make sense, but stick to it and agree to stick to it, even if it's not the most fun, or maybe it's not paying off in the beginning. It will if you stay consistent, just like my social media. A perfect example, I do a monthly drawing every month. In the beginning, I had a few interactions, a few likes, a few comments. I think we had like 20 or 30. Now I have thousands of views, hundreds and hundreds of comments, and it's just that consistency. Many realtors have tried this monthly drawing. I've had so many call me and say, do you mind if I steal your idea? Sure. I say sure because I know they're not going to do it more than 1 or 2 months. So knock yourself out. There's plenty of business for all of us. If it works for you, go get it. And they try it for a month and they say, oh, it didn't work like it does for Jen. Well, that's because I've been doing them for 7 years, not, 1 or 2 times. But if I had given up after a few times, yeah, it wouldn't work. That consistency is so critical. And that's where those systems work when you have the volume is now I can scale my business because I have those systems in place. So I would just suggest really sitting down, especially with someone like you, Adi, and putting those systems on paper and committing to a timeline where you're going to really stick to it to make sure those, work. And obviously there's going to be bugs and there's going to be tweaks and changes, but if you can just get the bulk on paper and really stick to it, it can't not work. It can't not.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Great advice. And hopefully our listeners will take it and apply it. So thank you so much, Jen, for being a guest on my podcast. It's been a great conversation and I learned so much. We definitely analyzed the keys here to success. And I think that is something that you can use and do everywhere. And I hope our listeners learn from it. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you so much. Your friendship, your partnership. I think you're an amazing human and I think you're amazing at what you do. And I hope that your clients or the people listening will give you a call because they just don't even know how much easier their life could be by putting these systems in place and actually getting a life back. I didn't mention that, but why do the things and take the time away from your family or the things that are important to you when you could have these systems in place? So thank you so much. I just adore you. And I appreciate you inviting me to be on your show today.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the System Simplified podcast. We'll see you again next time and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.